Maybe it isn't taboo for me to do yoga. Right? I mean, right? My name is Reverend Jia Starr Brown. I have been a pastor, a preacher, an advocate, and an activist in this area for over a couple of decades. I am always at that intersection of faith, education, and justice. I grew up in the Baptist church. I grew up in St. Paul. Like a lot of churches in the Black community, they tend to be more conservative at root. I grew up believing or hearing, if things are hard, are you praying hard enough? You must not be praying hard enough. You must not be asking what's going on in your life that is causing these things. And so when I ended up divorcing my husband, I had 5 children under the age of 12, and I'd asked for help, and I found myself with very little support. I lost friends, I lost supportive family members, I lost relationships. The thought was, maybe there's some actions that I'm taking, that led me to this space, whether it was divorce, whether it was, the financial hardship. And I carried that feeling of punishment. I carried that feeling of judgment for years. I believed that the hardships that I had to navigate as a newly divorced woman who had to rebuild her life and finances for these kids, that these were my fault, and that these were things, and I believed that I was destined to stay in this space of darkness. And so during that time of my divorce and going through those hard seasons, I lost a lot of support. There was one person that, in addition to my mother and some other family members, that really just kind of latched on to my children. She became a really good friend of mine. She was a ministry leader in the church, and my children were participating in ministry. And she just loved them and felt like, the Spirit was with our family, and we became good friends. And so for 10 years, friendship evolved to being a godparent to my children, evolved to us working together. And there were times over the years when I thought, well, there's something that might be here. But then I would pause and say, no, because this upbringing, my childhood says that that's not okay and that can't be it. And so we kept, nope, that can't be the deal. And I'd go date and do other things. And I remember having a really great family outing with my children, myself, and my friend, who was like a family member. And I remember sitting back saying, as I often did, okay, God, why can't you send her in male format? Like, why can't I have Jennifer in male? Can you do this? Like, how come I don't have this much fun when I'm over? What's happening? Come on, God. And I remember saying that. I went to bed, and the next morning was April Fool's Day. And I woke up with an answer. Oh, the reason why God hasn't sent me Jennifer, her name, in male form is because Jennifer is perfect as she is. Wait a minute. Jennifer is all the things, God has already answered my prayer. Are you kidding me? I've been praying for years and she's been sitting right here. Wait a minute, does that mean I love her? Wait, I'm in love with her? Wait, I'm gay? I'm pastoring in a conservative congregation. I'm gay? Am I in this? This is how this went. And while the revelation was it started to answer so many questions, the realities of the fear of my situation were also bubbling up. I am pastoring in a conservative congregation that is putting people on trial for this. How am I, supposed to continue to lead and not hijack the movement away from this conversation? And so it took 2 months of negotiating and red tape, and I finally came out on June Pentecost Sunday. And the shock in front of 500 people, you're right, it catapulted to national news, which was shocking. Why my identity is national news. There are people dying in the streets every day, and somebody's literally asking me what happens in my bedroom. These past few years have been, how have I expected people to leave their things at the door? How have I done that? How have I participated in my own oppression? We people on the fringes always say, well, we don't need to learn about what it means to be oppressed. We know what that means. We're on the fringes. But even that arrogance and not my experience on the fringes is different than yours. right? We all need to come together and value each other. And so I'm pushing for those things because that's the world that I want my children to grow up in.